This is Devin Croswell with Sherpa Design, and we are going to take a look at a new option in NX2412 for the bridge transition tool. This tool exists while we're in the flexible printed circuit design application for NX, and the new option is called a flex transition. As you see by the image there, even if our planar segments are rotated on multiple axes, I can create the properly formed flexible design transition from segment to segment now. We used to just have, say, Z or U or the fold transition, as well as a recent addition, I think in just the last NX version, 2406, we got sketch transition. And this is similar to that, but this is going to give us some options for wherever we need to place those planar segments. So in space here, I have a part where I've got two planar segments created, and you'll notice just how, differently placed they are. They're not parallel to each other in any way. They're twisted, if you will. And I'm going to use the new option in bridge transition to create that flexible design, that transition between the two. So in here, I'm going to change my option in the pull down to flex transition. That's going to ask me for some transition edges. We'll just go from this top edge to, let's go up to this top edge. And right now we're at full start edge. You'll notice that it's just forming where it needs to go up to the other segment. I do get an alert down here that says the topology that is created may not flatten out with unbend or flat solid, but most of the time it will. So, sometimes if it's really complicated, then maybe flat solid, flat pattern, unbend might have some problem with it, but we'll see what we have here once we complete a full transition. Some of the other options in here, obviously the same options we have for the other transitions, where I can put in a finite start point. I can also change the width, pull that a little bit, changes the shape and design. We can go symmetric if we want to make sure we're on that center line for our transition. And then, as we just saw, full start edge, full end edge, full both sides. So depending on what we want to see here, let's do a symmetric one where the width, looks like I don't have my drag handle for this one. I guess I don't really need it, but let's go 27 or something. So nice, good looking transition there. Like I said, all twisted up from where this segment needs to be to where this one has to be placed in the assembly. And so I can now create that properly. There's also a length option for either scale factor or value. So my scale factor, right now it's 1.5 times the, I think, minimum distance it needs to create a transition. If I go 2, I can make it twice the distance that it needs, or 3 times, depending on the length that I need. Otherwise, if I know the exact length that needs to be, looks like we have 365, just over that. So we'd have to be more than that. Let's go about 600 to create that length properly. So now we have that 600 millimeter length for our twisted flexible transition. And we'll also have an ability to control the path. So if aspects of our transition need to be in a certain spot, we can move them to that spot with our coordinate system capability here. So NX2412, new option for flex transition when we are creating those bridge transitions between planar segments that are not parallel in any way to each other. They're out of alignment. There we have the fully formed transition capability. So once I create that, I can create a flat solid, and let's see if this works. All right, there we go. So we have the flat solid as well. Flat pattern probably works. If we need to use something like unbend, we could do that as well. So NX2412, we have that new option for flex transition.